Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's actually it's close to the end of October. It's one of the windiest days this year. It's very windy. So what better day to test my new additional drone? And let me show you what I got. I got myself an Autel Evo I. Now, I'm actually very happy that I got the Evo I and not the Evo II because of the news I just got about the Evo II. I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, one of the greatest things about Evo drones or Autel drones is they do not have no-fly zones, so no NFZs. That's probably one of the selling points because Autel counts on professionals flying responsibly, flying professionally, and not putting anyone or anything in danger. And just this morning saw the news that with the next update, or one of the next updates, Autel will create no-fly zones in several countries for the Evo II. So Evo I will actually stay unaffected by this update. And what's not to love? As soon as you unbox the Evo I, you see this little thing on the camera. It's a 4K camera. What it doesn't tell you is that it's a 4K 60 frames per second compatible camera. So it will shoot 4K 60 frames per second. The video which I will show you at the end of this review. The battery is standard for the Evo I drone. I have probably about, in this bag I have 3 total, so 1 on the drone, 2 right there. And the battery gives me on average about 25 minutes of flight time. It's rated at 30, but it gives me average 25 minutes of flight time. And the wind is picking up, so we're gonna test it. The only drawback that I found is this right here. The Evo I will not fly without a memory card, and it does not have built-in memory. The plus side, it's got front sensors, it's got bottom sensors, and it's got infrared rear sensors, which I haven't tested yet, but that's what it's got. Now let's move on to the remote. One of the other biggest selling points of the Evo I and Evo II is the remote. It's an OLED display remote, meaning it doesn't only display information like the DJI Mavic Pros do, like the distance, elevation, battery, and everything else. But you can also switch it to the video mode, and it will display the camera view of the Evo I in 720p. So technically, you don't need a phone or a tablet to fly it. They even put this little screw back here, so you can remove this mounting bracket and use the remote without a phone to fly your Evo drone. Now let's power this up and get it airborne. You can actually see how windy it was. At some point, those branches were really like horizontal. The wind was blowing them sideways. So another biggest selling feature of the Evo drone is how quickly you can power it up. Yeah, you see that wind? My bag popped open. Let's test it out right now. So first, this is from 0, and I'm gonna time it exactly. You power on the remote, and then you power on the drone. And as soon as the remote says ready to go, that's actually when you can take off. It's much faster than DJI. So right now it says edit mode, fly with caution, ready to go. 20 seconds from the moment I push the remote button. That's how fast it's able to take off. Now, here's the drawback. If I push the takeoff button, it says start motor first. I actually know there's a way you can start one-handed operation, have this take off. I haven't found it yet. I think it's in, if you switch it to boat mode, you can do one-handed takeoff. So right now I'm gonna put the my phone into the remote. Let's do some flying, let's do some filming, and so you guys can see how good the actual quality is. Now here's the drawback. I will show you this. It's in the gimbal. The gimbal sometimes does the horizon tilt. Not all the time, but sometimes, and usually it depends on the wind. On the windy day like it is today. So you may actually see some horizon tilt in the gimbal. But let's get it airborne and let's do some flying. Okay, so right now I started the motors and one-handed operation. Taking off. And the same way I can bring it down. The reason I did that is just to show you, because it's not very comfortable to record it with one hand while trying to fly it with another hand. So right now I'm gonna do some more flying and record the screen for you. For some reason screen recording failed, so here's just some flying shots for you over the forest at 4K downgraded to HD at 60 frames per second. And finally, the question of the day is, am I going bald? Yes, I am, but that's not the question of the day. The question of the day is it worth buying Autel Evo II in 2021 and therefore using it in 2022? And I say yes. The reason I say yes is, shh, don't tell my wife. Currently, I got 3 of them, 3 Autel Evo Is. Perfect drone. Can't ask any more of it, and I just love using it.